Hey Chris, welcome to Westminster. We're excited
you.
to have you as our new youth director and wanted to get to know a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself and about your passion for youth in particular.
Sure, yeah. I grew up in Pennsylvania, in Lancaster County for most of my life. I have not one but two parents who are pastors, so grew up in the church since I was born. When I was graduating from high school or close to graduation, I was actually going to go into music for a major and realized that that really wasn't ultimately what I wanted to do with my life. So I was looking back and trying to figure out what I did want to do and realized that when I went through the youth ministry at my church that all the adults who walked alongside me helped me sort of wrestle with my faith and figure out what it means to follow Christ. That they were a really big impact for me, and I wanted to do that for teenagers for the rest of my life. I wanted to be that person who could, help teens ask questions, help them connect with adults, and help them see how their faith can be lived out as they sort of follow Christ. I went to Eastern University for youth ministry and graduated with a degree there. And started off my first position at St. John's Presbyterian Church and was there for 4 years as a children and youth director. Pre-K through graduation. And really, since then, I've just continued to sense that calling and have really just seen myself ultimately as someone trying to lead youth to Christ by walking alongside them and wrestling with those questions they have. What does it mean to follow Jesus? What does it mean to live out my faith not just at church, but on the sports field, when I'm with my friends, when I'm with family, wherever they go. So that's sort of how I see my calling to youth ministry.
Awesome. Tell us what made Westminster an attractive place for you to be.
Yeah, I sense that Westminster has a strong sort of missional calling or missional vision, and just seeing how the gospel plays out not just in our personal lives, but also in the greater world around us, and how we can sort of participate with God and what He's doing in the world. And I also sense that Westminster really loves to try and empower their youth, not just to see them as vessels to be filled up, but again, walking with them and empowering them to be followers of Jesus and how they can make an impact on the world, and how they're, everybody's faith is unique, but we're all unified in that. So I think just seeing how Westminster would like to sort of raise their youth up, and even see that adults can teach youth something, but also that youth can teach adults something sometimes.
Right. Absolutely.
So I just see a great vision for empowering youth in their faith.
Right. And you have a child, correct?
I do, yeah, a soon-to-be 1-year-old little girl,
Right.
Hadley, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited about you and your wife and Hadley joining us at Westminster. So, what's one thing that people would not realize about you? Something about yourself that somebody would say, "Wow, I never knew that. I would never have expected that."
Yeah. So I'm an avid music lover. Grew up middle school, high school, especially listening just to like rock music. Honestly, anything but country, and it doesn't offend anybody. But one of the genres of music I really did not like growing up was hip hop and rap, and I just for whatever reasons thought it was dumb or didn't like the sound of it or whatever. But about 4 years ago, I met a few people, became really good friends who had been listening to the genre for longer than I have, and helped me gain a different understanding of it. And I can now say that I am an avid hip-hop listener and lover. I wouldn't have thought I would be 10 years ago, but I love a lot of the music that many of those artists put out. So.
I don't want to disappoint you, but there's not going to be any hip hop contemporary shows here at Westminster. So
I'll talk to John about it.
Okay, great. Well, listen, we're really excited to have you, and
Thanks, Jerry.
looking forward to working with you.
Thanks, I'm excited.